Good morning, East Castle Place. How's everybody doing? Welcome to this edition with Coffee with Tyler. The first of the new year, so January 6th, 2021. Wow. With that, I'm going to grab my first sip of coffee here. Hope you are able to join me in the first sip. Alright, so today is a big day for East Castle Place, and I know many of you out there, and as the memo stated last week, we have our first vaccine clinic today. And so CVS Pharmacy will be coming on site approximately 9:30, and they will be administering the vaccines to our staff, as well as our skilled nursing, our assisted living, as well as our memory care residents. Now I know I've met with many of you about Tyler. We're independent living. We're at East Castle Place. When are we going to get the vaccine? What does that look like for us? Why weren't we included in this round of the vaccine? So, the state of Wisconsin is authorizing sectors of, organizations, for lack of a better term, for who receives the vaccine. And so that's where they designated the assisted living, skilled nursing, and direct care staff, and essential work staff. So obviously, with the populations that we have roughly 70 to 75 individuals in our assisted living, skilled nursing that will receive the vaccine today. We obtained consents for the majority, the strong majority. And again, we're highly encouraging it, but again, it's with the doctor's consent, or doctor's guidance, but also the resident's consent. Then we also have the staff, and so we anticipate, hopefully a strong turnout for staff. We cannot make this mandatory. The drug is, or the vaccine rather, is still too new for that. But we are highly encouraging it. It's got strong results from the initial test cases. Obviously, the FDA has approved it. One slight change, I've been telling you all along, the Pfizer vaccine is the vaccine East Castle Place will be receiving that the state of Wisconsin selected. Somewhere in the lines of communication, I lost that, my apologies, and we'll actually be receiving the Moderna vaccine. And so I was made aware of that last week late as we were working through these clinics. And so the Moderna vaccine, again, just as effective as the Pfizer. The only difference is the Moderna does not require that extreme cold storage. So in talking with my contact with CVS and the lead, they said they were all trained on the Pfizer, and then the next day, actually the Moderna was the one they were receiving. So they're excited about it. They're excited to administer it to the staff and the residents, and there will be a whole team on site from CVS. Then after today, my goal is to work towards the next clinic date and potentially being able to open that up to independent living residents. Now, I would be remiss if I could guarantee that, but again, that's what I'm pushing for. But again, it's coming down from the state as far as who is able to receive the vaccine, but my goal is to push and to see what I can do to make sure it's available to those that want it in the independent living area. A lot more information will come, but as you see the clinic going, as you're watching this, the clinic will be complete. But there's a lot that is going into this, a lot of coordination, and so I appreciate all the employees, all the directors and staff that have assisted in making this happen today. It's a pretty momentous and monumental day for a lot of us. So my hope is to receive the vaccine, and so again, we'll make sure, of course, our direct care staff as well as the resident or the employee population at large receives that first dose. Again, there will be a second dose that will be administered later this month. So that's the big news. That's been the focus of mine for the last really 7 days, because that's really when I received confirmation that the clinic was going to be happening. That's all the coordination. I could verify how many vials we're getting and doses. So again, this has all happened pretty fast and furious. So we're looking forward to what brings the end of the day. I'll be able to report in the memo on our COVID statistics, so to speak, that did receive the vaccine from a resident population as well as an employee population. The other COVID-19 update that I have is that we've continued our testing. Last week we saw one individual, an employee, test positive for COVID-19. That's one employee out of roughly 100 that were tested last week. Again, we tested again yesterday with our normal testing process. And again, that's inclusive of assisted living, skilled nursing, and memory care residents. So again, we still have roughly 200 tests a week or each testing period administered. And again, we had one COVID-19 positive that occurred late Thursday, actually after the memo. Then also, a few of you that may be watching this, and I know how things can get shared here in the community, so I want to make sure that everybody's brought up to speed. There was another employee that did test positive, actually outside of our normal testing process. This employee did have contact with certain individuals in an independent living space, and had, although the individual was masked, the residents were masked, there was still that potential. So out of extraordinary precaution, we rapid tested, so we took our rapid test to roughly the 12 or so residents that had that exposure from that employee. Again, they were working with that employee for an extended period of time, and so I'm happy to report that all 12 of those residents did return negative. So again, there is no positive COVID-19 in the independent living community at this time, at the taping of this time on January 6th. But again, we did that out of utmost precaution. Again, it shows that masks are incredibly important to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. Again, the residents were masked and the employee was masked, and even though they were maybe within 6 feet for different amounts of time, the test results are favorable in that they were negative. So again, I want to make sure everybody's alert to that. We did test roughly 12 individuals in independent living for COVID-19 just because of that risk of exposure that we knew about. And so through our contact tracing, we're pleased to share with you that no further testing is necessary for the independent living residents at this time for COVID-19. With that, what else is going on? Well, obviously COVID is still very much in the forefront of everybody's mind. We have these masks that are of utmost importance. We need to continue to wear those and continue to take the precautions necessary. Now, I am working with the director team to see if we want to maybe start looking at when we may be able to relax some of the restrictions. Obviously, the fitness center has been open, but Carlos and I are just in discussion about the dining room. We also are in discussion about small groups. Why are we talking about that now, and you know, what does that look like moving forward? First and foremost, I wanted to get through testing of COVID-19 for the greater majority of after the holiday season. So again, we're in a good place right now, but I want to make sure we maintain that. So I'm not exactly looking at loosening those restrictions right now. More information will come. I know that the socialization and the whole health perspective is important, but of course, as through all of this, your safety and security is of utmost importance. So as we walk through that, I'll be working with the resident council, I'll be working with my director team, and I'll be working with other individuals as well as we walk through what that looks like. So more information to come, but do know it's on the forefront of my mind, but at the same time, I do want to remain, you know, strategic and precautious in my approach. The snow has been happening. We had snow on New Year's Eve night. I want to say a special thank you again to our maintenance team for taking a hold of our parking lots and our sidewalks. They look really good. The best I've seen in my time here. Again, that's for your safety and the safety of our staff and visitors, of course, and just really are looking forward to that continued focus on snow removal by our maintenance team. So again, a couple individuals were here late and early in the morning to make sure that the emergency exits were taken care of, and to make sure that, again, from our protocols were taken care of. I hope everybody had a nice New Year's. I appreciate all the wonderful notes that I received from many of you in regards to the extra touches that were had, whether that's by Carlos's team and the food and the meal that was provided, or Laura's team taking the extra steps to provide that wonderful champagne toast. So a huge shout out to the entire team to try and make the new year as bright and beautiful for you, although different. With that being said, I also want to give a loud shout out to those that participated in decorating the castle. I know that Laura's talked with a few residents about taking down the Christmas decorations and things of that nature, and I think what we've come up with is the Santa Clauses and things of that nature that are specifically tied to Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, those will be taken down. The other pieces that are still seasonal, meaning winter season, things of that nature, will be left up for an extended period of time, so probably through January. That's what we're thinking right now. I hope everybody's okay with that. Still enjoy the beautiful hallways that we have. The Christmas trees will be coming down towards the end of this week and next week, and that's due to our maintenance team taking those down and putting them in storage. With that, I know it's a little bit of a fast and furious COVID and coffee with Tyler today. I appreciate everybody tuning in. If there's anything I missed, I'll make sure that I hit it on the memo, or as always, come see me, come stop me in the hallway, always available for you. But again, hope everybody's doing well, hope everybody's got a great start to their new year, and I look forward to this year in 2021. With that, I'll sign off with a sip. Take care, everyone.